Hello there, hello everybody. We are back again, and yeah, instead of just talking, I thought, oh well, let's play a bit of music. And last week we had RG as theme in this live stream, and this part I simply used to put in also Go2, and everything you hear in this part are Papen products, except for this voice, of course, this lovely lady. That's not me, my voice is a bit lower. So, but the reverb you hear on the lady and the guitar, we had this last week, and I found out that this one is a very nice one. It's the muted guitar from RG. Just let's play it again. Let's see if that can be done very fast. What you hear is the muted guitar from RG using the sequencer. So you hit the note and then it triggers this melody, this muted guitar. You hear the also that was reverb 2. We had it also a few weeks ago. We had reverb 2, RP delay, RP EQ, RP mod as example, and what the effect range is. So of course the voice dry is of course less interesting. Let's hear it dry. And of course the reverb adds really pretty something to it. So let's play it back again, but then with RP verb 2. And what you hear in this RP verb 2 is the also the reverse effects, and a good quality reverb embraces the sound, really takes it around, it doesn't clatter or makes a metallic. And I think RP verb 2 is a very good high quality reverb which has some unique features. Of course, today we are gonna talk about Go2 and being NKS compatible. This version is already available, but before I go over to Go2, what we also used in this little piece is our punch, of course, for the drums, and simple bass too. It's very nice bass. This bass, when I open it here, this bass uses a combination of a classic waveform combined with a tuned sample of a plastic PVC tube. And this tube gives this typical attack. And then also we used Bluetooth, and this one, let's see, where is it? It played some chords. Now you see here in the it's a kind of e-piano type of stuff. It's of course FM synthesis. Okay, so I see hello everybody in the chat room. And then we had, of course, punch also for the drums in this. So everything you heard except for the voice was all raw Papen products, and there is no additional mastering stuff on it. This is purely the sound you hear. So and on top of that, I wanted to play around with Go2, and I was searching for some presets that come along, and this one is a bit Kraftwerk-like, so maybe it's a bit odd to use it in this setup with this piece of music. vocal chill track with some Kraftwerk influences. Okay, well, let's see. We see you have some people in the chat. What today I want to talk already about the Go2 being compatible with the NKS system, and it's already available. And what it also has, it has some additional presets. So now Go2, also the regular version, so without the NKS support, has over 750 presets now. So the new ones are, for instance, in the pad bank, in the Synth bank, we have a few more wobbles, a lot more basses we have on board, and of course the preset range of Go2 will expand in the very near future. And we even have a trade sound set from somebody. If you go to the Go2 homepage, you can find a sound set from Status, and he made a very nice sound set with 65 presets. There's a demo song where you can hear the sounds, and it's a very good sound set for Go2. Okay, so for the people maybe who are having native instruments, their keyboard or machine 2, they can download Go2 now, the latest version, the NKS installer, and it installs then all the additional features for having it appearing in the instance, for instance, the complete control, which you can see here. Okay, let's see if I can have this come out of the view. No, that's a bit. Let's move this one. I have to move the keyboard a bit. Let's move that one to the right. Okay, and open again here the screen. So that's a bit tricky. Always tricky with streaming with the view. Now here we have complete control, and if you have complete control and you don't see Go2 appearing, what you can do is go to the preferences. 1 second, and let's see if it's here. Here you have edit and then preferences, and if you go to preferences, you can rescan the plugins. And also, in case it doesn't see anyhow Go2, maybe you need to add the locations. Or default location on PC is program files Steinberg/VST plugins/Rob Papen. So maybe you need to put in that location. But we have if you log into robpapen.com, you have a frequently asked questions, and there we show with a screenshot what you need to do if Go2 doesn't pop up. And then of course you can go to the library and also select Go2 library and rescan. So what is the advantage? Well, the advantage of this complete system is that if you go to the left section here, you can see you have all kind of products, and if you search for a certain type of preset, it can look, for instance, for arpeggiator sounds or lead sounds, but not only in Go2 but also the other instruments which are installed. So that's the advantage of this system, that you can scroll through all the library searching for a good preset. Of course, good presets and good stuff is inside our stuff as well, and you can stay also here, and then you can see we have here in the browser all the presets which you also find in our own browser. So if you are in this system, you can go here to Synth 1, and then you could say from modes, okay, let's take only a preset which uses chord, and then these pop up. Okay, double click. So this is a nice system where you can. And what you also hear now is this preview. Somebody is asking, will it work with Kontakt? No, the Go2 is not a sample library. Go2 is a separate instrument. Kontakt is a sampler player, and there's of course a lot of library which uses Kontakt. But this Go2 has nothing to do with Kontakt. This is a synthesizer of its own. So now you, for instance, if you have this chord, you also can click on it, and that's what they call a preview. So it plays a short sample. So if you are in the library, it has this option to have a little preview of the sound already. Hopefully tomorrow you can find my normal YouTube video about Go2 and NKS, and there in a very compact way I will explain how you can use it and how also the parameter layout is. Of course I will tell it now also, but it's now a bit more freely and I jump from one thing to another thing. So you find all the presets from Go2 in the NKS format, which is on the left side. So of course you still can go to the own bank manager, but that essentially is more if you use it in other sequencers or other software. So if you use complete control, it's wise to stick here with the built-in NKS system. So here we have all the banks, and you see with basses we have new ones. Unity bass. And then what we have with this NKS system is, of course, which is cool, is these dials. And that's the main fun part. Of course, you can also use another keyboard which has MIDI controllers and MIDI latch them to your synthesizer. But often it's limited to 8 dials or 16 dials. And in this case, you can have multiple pages. And with Go2, if you see here in this upper section, okay, let's put back this one to the left corner. So here are the dials. Yeah, you can see that, I guess. There we go. Back to the Go2 user interface. And up here you can make the dials visible. So this dial, the first one is wave A. And I can change here wave A. And that's of course the fun part, is that you can use the dial to select a waveform. Of course you can also work with a mouse, but having a dial is sometimes very nice, more interactive. It's a different feeling. And the layout we did is, for instance, because the Go2 oscillator and XY section is very important. So the first page is really focusing on this oscillator section. So if you look up here, you can see waveform A, waveform B, the morph slider you can change here, you see. You can change the type of morphing. So this is the mix mode, but you can have FM. And then we have also in this first page the spread. And the spread, if you have one oscillator sound, if you open spread, it becomes a 2 oscillator sound. And the tunes. Then there is a control, which is, you see here, is the sub oscillator. In the middle, in the center, the sub oscillator is not active. If you go to the left, you get a sinus sub oscillator. And if you go to the right, you get a square waveform. And you see very fast, I already have a very different sound just by changing the first 4 parameters. So if I double click again on Unilize Bass 3, this is the original one. And I totally changed it. So change the different waveform or change the morph. Moves from wave A to wave B. The mix, change it. So that's some cool things which you can do by simply using the dials here. Of course, if you have a nice preset, there are 2 ways you can store it. You can store it in your own format, what we use, if you want to use this preset in another environment. And you can also save it in this complete control system as a NKS preset again. And then it goes to the user section. And the user section is up here where you see this little person image. So, okay, the keyboard is in the way a bit again. So when I move the keyboard again to a different position, now I mess up. Sorry for messing this up now. Yeah, that's a typical thing which always on top. Maybe you know this from your computer. If you're working with software, sometimes the label does the other way around. So now you see Go2 is again visible in complete control, and up here you have this feature always on top. And if it's on, it's not always on top. If you put it off, it's always on top. Beats me. I don't know why why it is this way. Maybe I'm too stupid for it. But anyhow, so here we have it, and I just wanted to move this keyboard. Okay, and let's try that again. And here is this symbol. Here you have this one. This world symbol is for the factory patches, and then here this this one is for the user presets. Okay. Now I select again the preset, and we had Go2. For some reason it lost it. Here we are back again. Okay, so this is the first page, and because the oscillator and its features are so unique from the synthesizer, it's really cool to have them in the first page, and it's very nice to go simply to a different preset. Let's do another synth sound. Let's go to pads. And let's see what happens if I change simply this first dial. And this first dial is, you see it also up here, wave A. So this one, wave A. Oh, I already have a different sound just by picking another waveform. And you see the slider is somewhere here, so it combines the both. So I also could pick another one for wave B. There it is, a nice pad sound. So what I would do now, because I like this preset, I will save it and then later on convert it also, save preset as. Yes, I will call this mellow spec. Or maybe mellow spectrum. That's maybe better. Because I use a spectrum waveform with harmonics. So here it's saved now. And I also can save it as a NKS preset, save as. And then again I need to use the same name. Mellow. So now I save it twice, once in our own format and once in the NKS format. But you can see by simply changing the waveforms, you very fast get a different sound. So, okay, I'm checking now shortly for the spec. Somebody talks about some trance stuff. Yeah, well, maybe we can do that later on a bit. Also with the controllers, this is interesting. So, well, this is the first page. The second page, you can see we have additional symmetry control, for instance. You can change the octave, the X and Y. And then also using, for instance, if you are in live mode. Now, in this case, you see the XY is in play mode. So when I shut down and go to live, you can use this dial here, the X and Y, also to make this movement. So that is in live mode. You have two dials, X and Y, for controlling the X and Y. Could also be interesting. You could record it in your sequencer. Now, and when you go to page number 3, that is the filter. And of course, here we have the cutoff frequency, resonance. You can see it up here. Envelope amount. You can change the filter. Maybe I should pick a different sound. Let's go to maybe EDM and house. Pick there a... Let's see. You hear now this preview, which is always on the C3, but now I double click and then it loads the sound. And now when I go to this page again, this third page, which was the filter, I can easily change the sound. Let's see if it combines with the... This one plays a minor chord. You see the play mode is a minor. So let's shut down the phaser. I can hear the high pass filter, and the high pass filter is on the second page. It's on page 4. So I also can change the high pass filter here. So here it is. Frequency. Or I simply can put it off if I don't want to have it. Yeah, and then in page 4, one very important one pops up, which is the last 4 ones, which are the amplifier, attack, decay, sustain, and release. And they are very essential if you want to add a sound. So if you want to tweak it so that it fits better in your music. This sound I found personally a bit too long for in this group. Now I made it shorter, just making the decay shorter. There's no sustain and a very short release. See, that's on the right side. Here it is. Now it fits. I mean, it doesn't mean I'm gonna use it, but it fits better than the original sound. So this amp envelope, which is here, is very important. So what we did with the layout of the parameters, the first 4 pages are really the major pages, which you use a lot, like the amplifier, the waveform, the morphing slider, the filter, and that kind of stuff. Okay, there are more people joining. Hello everybody again. There are more people in the chat. I hope the stream is better. Last time we had a weird delay from the this webcam, they call it, yes. So yeah, well, for the ones a bit later on, today is about Go2, and it's now available already. You can download it with having the NKS support. And what we also added is a few more presets. So the total amount of preset when we released it was 600, but now it's already on 750. And of course, in the future, this will expand. Okay, so this is the 4 of the more major pages. Okay, let's see if I have a different... Well, this is the audition. If I click here on the preset, it does an audition. And there should be a way where I can put it off. I believe I pushed the wrong button now. There should be something where you also can put this preview off. So let's see. In this bank, We have some new presets. Let's see. So, these are lead sounds. But I had last time, but I need to see where it is. Just checking. Somebody mentioned trance. Maybe this is a bit trancey. Let's go to a different beat. I know a bit different tempo. Let's see if we have it. Oh, this is already, maybe it's something like this. Let's check it out. Oh, there's no bass inside of it. Let's see. That's a bit hard. Okay, then I need to pick again, of course, Go2. It's not very useful, this one. Now, okay, where is it? It's a different channel. Ah, that's a good one. I lost the channel which I had with Go2. Let's see. Is this one? No? Here it is, I think. Also the wrong one. Yeah, now we have it. The tempo is a bit high with this beat. There's no bass. I'm missing a bass here. Now let's see. Still hear the previews, and I'm looking for a particular sequence sound. Maybe it's in another bank. Yeah, but these are the more trancey. There's more steady bass, trance bass. Of course, they use a lot of how they call it, side chaining. But you hear the low end is very good of Go2. And if you have, of course, then the editing options here. Let's say we make a trancey bass just by using this arpeggiator. I can easily change the waveform to check if there's something else. Well, this is interesting. First dial, waveform A. I could say, okay, let's see what the morphing does. And that's interesting, of course. If you have a track, what happens often in trance, that's it goes from one thing to another thing. And just by using this third dial, which is connected to the morphing, and maybe you want to make it a bit longer. Well, let's go to the page 4, which has the amp envelope, or shorter. It's on the right side. Now you hear the low end sings a bit more. Here is the amplifier. So when I make the release shorter, it doesn't sing in the low end that much. Now you hear. So the envelope is very important, but there's of course also a active envelope here, filter envelope. Let's go to that one. So I go one page back. There I have the filter, also the envelope amount, and the envelope amount in combination with the filter envelope is of course very important. And here you see the change you have with only the decay. Okay. somebody says, okay, hit the speaker below the patches to switch off preview. That one. Okay, thank you. I didn't know that. Thank you. So anyhow, so now when I go to next preset, I don't have the annoying preview, which is if you make music, because it's always a C3 and has a default tempo. So now I had this, I started out with a trance bass, which was a saw wave, and now simply by changing a bit the envelopes. Of course, you also can do it with a mouse. I mean, I can change it also here, but sometimes when you have a dial, it's a different feeling. Maybe let's go back to the first page. Maybe we fiddle around a bit more with the waveform, take another waveform again. Oh, change the morphing. So now you could record it, of course. You see in the first page we also have the sub-oscillator, which is now active. So now it's in the middle. Here is the sub-oscillator. It's the dial number 6 from the first page sub-oscillator. When I go to the left, I have a sinus sub-oscillator. And when I go to the right, I have a square sub-oscillator. Have the connection of the XY, and you see the XY is in the middle. If you double click, the XY goes in the middle. It's in live mode, but it's connected to the filter and the resonance. Let's see what happens. And these are connected also to these two dials here on page 2, X and Y. Doesn't do that much. Connected to the waveform. Let's see what happens there. Yeah, for some reason I don't hear it. It's maybe me. Oh. We might discover a bug we still need to fix. So I changed the XY, but it doesn't affect the sound engine. Yeah, something we need to fix tomorrow. First time that I notice it, and it should of course change the sound. The same as I do now by changing with the mouse the position. So you can have some very cool variations just by using the live mode. Address it to the morphing slider, so the X movement and the Y movement to the slider, and then you can have the the other ones on the right side. You can address also to the filter or anything you like, because you also can say, yeah, pick one of the other parameters for and make that change by using the XY here. So double click makes the dot going in the middle, and then the sound is unchanged. So if you have anything addressed here or here and it's in the middle, the sound isn't changed. Only the moment you start moving this dot changes the sound. Now somebody is asking about the delay, how it works with the delay. Now down here you can put on the delay. I put it on. Let's see what happens. It's in sync, so it's tempo sync. It has a feedback, low pass filter, high pass filter, the mix. Then of course left time. If you go up here you see where my mouse is. That's the readout. If I change the left side, you can see it's on 1/4 note time setting, and the right side is on a 1/8 dotted timing. And if you have both the same setting, so if I go with this one to 1/8, because everybody maybe would say, okay, it's only a stereo delay. No, if you have left and right the same, it's a mono delay. So this is how you can work with the delay, and then pick simply the right time. Mostly it's set to sync, also as default. But maybe let's take another sound. Of course, but it's pity that I don't have a bass below it. The tempo is okay, but it's only having a hi-hat. Let's see if we have another preset which shows which is nice to do in combination with the with the controllers which you have here. I was looking for one particular one. Not seeing it yet. For some reason. Well, let's try this one. It's not really trancy, but just to show what you can do with the parameters and changing them. So if you have a basic preset, we have the oscillators we can change. But I talked already about the filter. The filter envelopes. You can see them here. The filter envelopes. I can change the high pass filter. Or put it off. In this case I can say I put it off. And then I'm gonna check how it is with the amplifier. That is on page 4. So behind the high pass filter we have the amplifier. Here it is. And I go down with sustain. Okay. And you see it's a totally different sound. Even slow attack. So now it's a totally different sound. The original one, I like this one. See in the arpeggiator, and that's another thing which we added also. If we go more to the right, so after page 4 I added, for instance, also the control of the chorus, which is now off. Let's put it on. You see down on the right lower side, here's the chorus. Then we can arrange the play mode. We also can arrange the unison, but the unison is essentially arranged here in the arpeggiator. You see, unison is off, but here on each step of the arpeggiator, chords are playing. So this is the first step plays a minor chord, then the 6th step plays a 5th, so which is a not a chord but 2 note. Then you get a minor again, and a 5th, and this makes this groove because I play only 1 note. So when I go now more up in the other pages, you see that I have now on page 9 I can control the tuning here, up here, the tuning from the steps, which I'm not going to do now. So step 16, and then you get the velocity. So I could change now the velocity, for instance, from step 1. Then we have on page 5 which is page 13 in here, the page 5 from the sequencer is the chord. So now I could change the first step and give it a different chord. It's a minor. Now it's a different one. Down here, you can see it. Minor 6. Or minor 7. So with this you can really make for each step a different chord. Of course it depends on the style of music you want to make. So also with the complete control you can adjust the sequencer, which are, if I'm not wrong, it starts at page number 9 until page 16 is for controlling the arpeggiator sequencer of Go2, which is a very sophisticated sequencer. It has some very cool features. Okay, let's take another preset. So I'm now in this one. Let's go, because it's very nice to have. I'll go back to Arp and Sequencer, TB Inspiration. So if you like this TB3 or 3 stuff, but you want to have dials for changing the tuning, yeah, that's very cool to use it with the complete keyboard. So when I go back to page 9, and now you see I have all the pitch here, tune 1 up to tune 8, and I can change the value. So down here you have this tune row, see the mouse, tune row, and now I'm going to change it. It's cool to use in combination with, of course, the mouse. And now the arpeggiator is in sequencer mode, so it's essentially a monophonic sequencer. And of course you can change the other parameters, go to the filter, change the envelope, or you go to the amp section and put some distortion. So I changed quite a few things. So it's really cool for having the tuning, for instance, or the velocity setting. Of course, the velocity setting depends also on if you have velocity active. So if I add now more velocity in the filter, and I would change again here the velocity settings with one of the pages, which would be page number 3 and 4, you can hear that the velocity changes a lot. I even can put it on the high pass filter. So let's put on the high pass filter. I go to the modulation matrix and I say here velocity, a source, and I pick as destination the high pass filter frequency. Now here the velocity also controls the high pass filter. So you can make some very cool stuff, and that's just by interacting with these dials. So now I'm changing only the first 8 steps But of course, for changing the other steps, I need to go to the next page for step 9 until 16. I'm not sure if this is a nice sequence for the music, but could be a nice add-on sound. So if you have a piece of music, let's go back to this other piece. Give me 1 second. This is 120. Doesn't really fit, but it's a nice sound as it is, of course. And you hear that it has a very warm sound. The Go2. Now it's the hyper filter I can put off. Could have picked another waveform. Let's go back to the first page. Cool. So, for instance, you make a song, and I would say, okay, this is maybe nice for in between. So that's really the fun if you have controls. You can be pretty fast in changing the sound. Can you still follow me a bit, guys? Because sometimes maybe I move too fast. Okay. So now I think most pages of the of Go2, which are laid out for the NKS system, so for machine 2, or if you have a complete keyboard. In total 16 pages you can control the sequencer, and we could add, of course, far more than this, but yeah, then there is of course a kind of limit in what is useful, and if you compare it, for instance, with Bluetooth, or when we go to Bluetooth, this one also has the NKS, and you can see here, Bluetooth, it has 43 pages. But the reason for that is that because with Bluetooth, it's very nice to have for each oscillator controls for the envelopes, because FM synthesis, each oscillator or operator has its own volume envelope, and if you can adjust that with the parameters. So if I go to this algorithm, you can see, for instance, D modulates E and E modulates F, and I would go to the envelopes here. You still can see it, guys. I need to go up a bit more because it's the big screen version of Bluetooth. Let's see if you, yeah, you can see this is the also can do it here. 1 second. There we have it again. I need to have here the setting always on top. I need to put that off, otherwise it's not always on top. So okay. Now I need to make the screen a bit smaller from the stream, so now you can see. Okay, here we are. So for 16 pages in Go2 and 43 pages in Bluetooth, but that has to do with the synthesis. So this E piano, it's not a sample, but it's really FM synthesis. So it starts with a sinus, it's modulated by E and again by D. So E is down here, and if you change here the envelope, that really changes the sound. And then it's very nice if you also have these under your finger. So when I go up here and I go to oscillator E, the envelope, you can see that I can change it. So each oscillator, and there are 6 inside Bluetooth, has its own page for volume. And that's very handy if you want to do kind of FM synthesis stuff. And I believe C was also active. Let's see. Now let's see C. Here it is. Oh no, it was on B. Let's see the algorithm. B on C. Okay, let's go to B. Oscillator B, and I go to this page from the envelope. So with FM synthesis, it's really important and very nice if you have some controls for adjusting the envelopes. Therefore, it has so many pages. But with Go2, this is of course not needed. And of course, this is a very deep synthesizer, Bluetooth, and FM synthesis is pretty complex to program. And but yeah, it's still fine if you have some dials for it. Okay, so let's go back to Go2 again. Okay, my voice is a bit softer when I speak. Sorry, yeah, I can put it a bit louder. Sorry. Okay. Oh, guys, it's unbelievable. It's almost 1 hour again. Yeah, I went a bit loose on Go2 using the new features from the features which will pop up if you have an NKS keyboard. So here we have Subboom Bass 2 again, and I'm just searching for again the right track to open again. Go2. Yeah, here it is again. So this is the normal screen version, and so as mentioned, you can anyhow wise to download again Go2 because we have some new presets. So let's go here to the Synth bank. Oh, big Synth. It's a bit like a Blade Runner, isn't it? But I had a one which I called Runner. Go down a bit. That's funny. Where is it? Yeah, I cannot find it. I can recall the name again. That's hard. But this one already sounds a bit like it. So we have some new presets, but I'm just picking the wrong one because this was already inside of it. Or was it in pads? It really could be that it would be in pads. We had last time this preset we made with the noise sounds. Let's see where it is. Brass, another phase. for some reason I missed some presets. I don't know how that happened. This one we made last time while in the live stream. What maybe could be the case, what I need to do is go to Edit, Preferences, Library, click on Go2 library and rescan, because I'm missing a few presets and I'm sure that I did tag all of them. And yeah, here they are, guys. So here it is, the other ones. Iris Pad. So John Iris is the programmer. And one of the new sounds. And then I mentioned this runner pad. Let's see, I think it's in Synth. It's cheating on me. Ah, here it is, runner synth. I listened to the Blade Runner. It's a bit like this one. Originally done on a CS80. Okay. Hey Scott, also in the chat. Nice to see you here. So we have also some very nice new presets. Let's see if I find one. We had this very dark one which we combined in Prisma. By the way, next week I hope that we can make you happy with the new Prisma. Okay, so new presets in the Synth bank. In Paths we have some new presets. Maybe this one is one of the new ones, I'm not sure. Oh, this one, very dark space, I can recall that. Okay, double click to load it. Very dark, deep pad. This is more normal one. Yeah, so a lot of nice new sounds, a lot of basses also, but that's also something you can do pretty easy if you have a. This uses a fifth. You often hear this in some trancey music or housey music. For instance, if you have a digital bass here and you have this keyboard, simply change here one of the first dials from the waveforms. Very fast have a different result, or change the morph slider. Cool, guys. Yeah, we are a bit over time now, and yeah, I would say download the latest version of Go2. If you have the NKS, there's a separate NKS installer, and then you can enjoy all the dials and the additional features it offers. So hopefully I see you back, guys, next week, and then hopefully I can have some good news about Prisma, because Prisma is of course a great instrument to stack also the sounds of Prisma, of Go2, sorry. Let's see if it's inside here very fast. Add track instrument, here is Prisma. Of course this live stream will be in the live stream playlist from YouTube, so if you missed it, you always can look it back. See also all my errors I make, of course. Okay, and if I go here to the manager, we had last time a very nice pad sound. Let's see. When you want to have it fast, it's always... Yeah, this one it was. The May layer. Yeah, that one uses Go2 and Bluetooth, so... So it's very vocal. Then you have the choir. So next week, hopefully we will have this for you, that you also can have Prisma and load in your Go2 to stack sounds inside Go2. Okay, maybe I still have one other one for you, but it always takes time for me to find it. Let's see. Or was it here? No, I cannot find it. Anyhow, guys, thanks for watching. See you next time. And enjoy Go2.